just transplanted my mini pumpkins. So I tried to space them pretty evenly. Here I have 6 plants on this side, and I'm gonna plant 6 on that side as well. So I had 12 little plants in total. You saw I just separated them. I had 4 plants per cell, and I just very carefully separated them to plant them. And I started out amending the soil with a little bit of this Microlife. It is a concentrated compost. So I didn't want to dig around and till too much. I just wanted to kind of put it on the top and scratch it in, which is what I did. And then when I dug my hole, I added Biotone starter plant food to give the pumpkins a nice start, good little boost. And then I watered them in with the watering can. And then I positioned my drip tubing to make sure that all of them will get nice and watered every single day. I'm going to add an extension to this one because it's not quite long enough. So I'm going to make it a little bit longer so it'll bend around right by that one in the corner. So all of them will get drip tubing. I have my drip on for about 30 minutes every single day because it drips pretty slowly, and so I want them to get nice and deeply watered every day. I have a watermelon growing here. It's growing pretty far up. It's pretty bright out here right now. It is pretty bright, but it's almost 6 o'clock. So these pumpkins will only get another 2 hours of very late evening sun. So that should not be too much for them. And then tomorrow they'll get full sun. I've been hardening them outside for a week and a half now. So they should be good to go. I'm gonna do the other side and I'll give you a look at it when I'm done. I got 6 more planted up on this side. So I planted them really close to the side, and I'm gonna slowly train them up, and hopefully, fingers crossed, in 2 or 3 months, this whole thing will be covered. That's the goal. Hope y'all are getting your fall garden planned out and hopefully planted up pretty soon. Mine's looking pretty bare right now. I'm about to rip out those cucumbers. I cleaned up these front 2 beds a few days ago. I still have the back 2 to go. My sweet potatoes are going crazy. So that's good. All right, guys. I'm a hot, sweaty mess, but this is what it should look like if you're gardening in Houston. So I hope this inspired you to go plant today. Just wanted to give you a little update on these pumpkins you just saw me plant back on July 21st. Today is August 9th. And the only big issues I've had over here are aphids. And so you can see some damage from the aphids, a little bit of the leaf stunting. So if you see, they're all under there. And if you saw my stories a few days ago, you saw me hosing these down, and then I spray with neem oil. And I didn't do a follow-up 3 days later of the neem oil, and so I think that's why they're back. If you look at these here, full of aphids. So I'm gonna hose them down again today, repeat the neem oil. Man, they're just so bad. They've like totally destroyed most of the bottom watermelon leaves, and the top's still looking good though. So I still have to hose and treat for that. But this side doesn't have nearly the damage. I didn't mention it in that last video, but the middle plant that was already pretty tall, that's a cantaloupe. And I've had that cantaloupe growing, goodness, since like April, and it stayed like this big for months. And then finally, one day, it decided to take off. So I don't know what its deal was, but most of this over here, this green growth, is from the cantaloupe. So every now and then I just come out here, and if there's some of it that's going a little wily, I just grab it and train it back up. The pumpkins on this side are doing really, really good. Filling up nicely. And all of them made it. All the little seedlings that I planted made it. And then I also planted the Halloween pumpkins, the big ones that I had started from seed as well. I have one right here, one there, and one there. And I say one, but each area I planted has, let's see, each one I planted has about 3 vines coming from it. So what I'm going to do with these is, since they're underplanted of my blueberries, I just make sure that they don't grow up the blueberry plant, but the blueberries are going dormant right now for the fall winter season, and all of this valuable garden space underneath them is not being utilized. And so since the pumpkins really only draw nutrients from the actual spot that they're planted, it's totally fine to let them run wild underneath these blueberries, and the blueberries will still get all the nutrients they need. So I'm just going to train them to go around all up in this space. So later today I'm going to be planting some corn seeds in that bed, and I have all my other seeds growing inside, cabbage, kale, and all that. I'm going to be planting all those here once they get bigger. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Go plant today.